Alright, well, as I said in my last video, I'm going to be going over rules and resolutions. I'm going to do rules first. I really hope that it's not obvious why I picked rules first. But anyway, uh, I've only skimmed through this, so I haven't had any time to really digest a whole lot what's going on before I started recording. So you're just going to see me react live to most of the details on this. If I can just transition properly here. Okay, this starts with, let's flip the window. So, we got IDGOP, the winter meeting in the first week of 2024. The Rules Committee, I think this is the same makeup as the Chalice meeting, if memory serves. A lot of familiar names, both good and bad. And so we're just gonna, let's see. 2024 1, amendment to establish precinct captain as a standard number. No. No. Why? I'm gonna have to. Why do you even want to do that? Like, yeah, of course there's different terms for the same thing across the state. Uh, Everybody, pretty much everyone knows exactly what each other's terms mean, so I do not understand any of the reason behind this. We'll see what the rule actually says, though, but I'm already kind of it's a 2024-2 enforceability of state chairman decision during appeal. Hmm. Is that like kind of an automatic injunction thing? That they're, I'll want to see what's going on with 2024-2 here. Um, Change to Article 5. Article 5, that's the one, I think that's the one about selecting replacements. And then there's like no title for 2024-4. Ah, here's a familiar. Yeah. I'll say what that is and what that's about when we get to it. 2020 amending Article 1. There is not a good description here as far as what's going on. You need an actual descriptive title with most things, and I'm a bit annoyed with that. Okay, 2020 chair party, state party chairman delegation to conduct exec. Okay, what are they even talking about with that phrase right there? Odd. Okay. Well, proposed amendment to Article 20 of the no, that's the one about platform enforcement, isn't it? Change to Article. Okay, we need to. Okay, whatever. Elected officers and precinct changes in non-election years. College Republicans. Restore the wait, well, okay, somebody's trying to pick a fight here, I can tell. Restore the vote on no. No. Young Republicans. I think some people are trying to start a federation of Republicans. Most of that looks like spam from 11 down to 16. It looks like spam. They're spamming the same thing in there. Might have to pull what we did back in 2020 on that. All right, and the last one seems to be another addition to Article 20. Ooh, people are really not liking Article 20. Or they need something to change on them. Well, we'll see what's going on there in due time. Of course, now, let me see if OBS is still working. OBS is still working. Okay. So, Rule 2024-1. The title, Amendment to Establish Precinct Captain as the standard nomenclature for. Okay, no. No. Hari, what are you doing? Party, you usually have good stuff, and I usually agree with you, but what are you doing here? Okay. Okay, this is reading like a resolution. Okay, whereas several names exist in common usage for those elected to represent the party at the precinct level, the PC, these names include precinct committeeman, committee one, committee officer. Officer is not the right term on a lot of cases, but whatever. If it's the term that a locality has, okay, fine. Their words have meaning and the position of PC or PCO is not merely to represent or hold a position on a committee, but to champion Republican efforts on most of being captain of each precinct's venue. And whereas the use of the terms for PCs or PCOs throughout the party rules may not be consistent and may include terms for both genders. Okay, why is that a problem? Whereas bringing forth the entire party rules with underlying directly to convert every mention of PC or PCO to precinct would require excessive printing for the consideration of this amendment. Yeah, and if you had some substance to what you were doing here, you would have a good excuse for it anyway. But okay, fine. Would require excessive printing for therefore. This amendment to the party rules upon passage directs the state party to remove any nomenclature in the party rules that refers to being. Hari, what are you doing? No. I love you, man, but no. This is a lot of. No. I mean, if you had a stronger reason for it, maybe. I mean, I'm willing to hear you out when the meeting happens. Absolutely. But no. We got other stuff going on. Jeez, dude. What happened to you? Alright, well, I'm just moving on. Okay, Rule 2024-2, enforceability of state chairman decisions upon appeal. Doyle Beck, presented by, a list of usual suspects here. I know a lot of these names here, and I even know a couple of the actual people, and they're okay. Mark Fuller, Nick Contos, Lisa Keller, Jonathan Cook, Doyle Beck, of course. Passed by Bonneville, not surprising. Rules of the Idaho Congress shall be modified by adding to Article 12, that's the Judicial Committee, Section 3, that's the one that has to do with decisions, I think. As follows, the state chairman shall rule on a complaint within 60 days of filing and shall issue an appropriate order, sanction, or remedy in writing. The aggrieved party shall then be obligated to exhaust its administrative remedies before filing civil litigation. Oh, okay, that's what you're getting at. See, it wasn't entirely clear from the title, but okay. I would very much like to strike underline format on this, though, before so the order, sanction, or remedy issued by the state party shall be in full force and effect during any appeal of such decision to the state executive committee. The enforceability of such decision shall not be subject to any temporary restraining or preliminary in the event litigation is filed before exhaustion of the administrative remedies of the aggrieved party by appeals or the state executive. Okay, basically, rule goes until it's ruled against. Ruling goes until it is ruled against. Basically, what that is. Given this year's drama, I see where they're coming from, especially the people there, and not only that, but stuff coming from Ada also would be interesting if that were in place. I have a feeling that certain people's strategy may have been a little bit different and less time intensive. That's for sure. I'm given a passive agreement on this one. So all right. Moving on to the next one. We have Rule 2024-3 changed to Article 5. Blah, 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 blah. Paul Ross, whereas new caucus rules do not provide an avenue for registered and affiliated Idaho Republicans to vote if they move. Okay, you're not presenting a whole problem here. You're presenting half of a problem. Let's see where you keep going, and this is still written like a resolution. Like why? Whereas to ensure quality, honesty, and integrity in caucus report tallying, caucus coordinators and caucus can assist each other in careful watchful. Okay. Uh, Wait, what does that have to do with the above? Okay, therefore the does propose a modification of the state party rules. Article 5 is the presidential. Okay, okay. I thought it was something else. I don't know. My memory isn't as good as I would like it to be. I mean, there's several personal situations that definitely could have gone better if my memory was better. That's for sure. But caucus captain, precinct committeeman, registering facility location, no party. Okay. Uh, I would like to know of reason why you're making that particular edit there. I'm not saying there isn't a good reason. I'm saying you're gonna need to sell me on it. Soliciting at least 3. Yeah, we'll see if that even happens. Register caucus results with state party head to coordinate with caucus to timely register and report caucus. You probably have a good reason for this. However, I would very much like for it to be articulated. Okay. Shall cooperate with caucus captains timely register. Uh, Voters who wait a minute. Oh, okay. You're putting effectively 3 rule changes into one here. I'm not so sure I'm hot on that, but okay. Okay, they might be getting at something good here, but convince me. Convince me here. I'm not saying that's necessarily bad. I'm not necessarily saying that's good either, but you're going to need to really argue the point here, whoever you are. Okay, yeah, see, this is a lot of the mess that you get when you integrate some, a few, different changes into the same amendment. This is kind of almost the opposite problem that was coming out of Beta for the summer meeting. This you really should have split up into a few different. Ada's is the other different, was the other way around, where it really should have all been the same because it was basically interacting with each other. This, not so much. Strange how things work out here. I'm gonna say a maybe. Sell me on this one. I'm not saying yes or no on this one automatically, not yet. 2024-4, Region 4 Central Committee, Steve Bender. Okay, yeah, these are good dudes. I know these guys. They're okay. They're people I would trust. I'm not sure if I heard of what's actually going on with this. Article 1, Section shall be amended by inserting the following language at the end of the session. In the event of simultaneous vacancies in both the office of chairman and the appointed political treasurer for any. Oh, I know what caused this. Yeah, remember when nearly all of the leadership of Ada County just up and resigned? Yeah, yeah, they put a spanner into the works, and they still that whole mess still isn't completely cleaned up, but it's a lot better now after a few months. In the event of blah 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 blah, state chairman shall be authorized to appoint a political treasurer. Okay, they're trying to make a certain inconvenient part of it faster. I'm 90% sold on this. Just making sure that we're not running afoul of any Idaho code. And the thing is, when people talk to me about the underlying subjects of all this, my eyes just sort of glass over, and I have to work 10 times as hard just to pay attention of all these financial matters and whatnot. Let's see, finance and such. Okay. Uh, I'm 99% there now. I would very much like to hear the what and the why. A lot of the why. I would very much like to hear the why. But I'm sure Steve Bender has a pretty freaking good reason for doing this. I'd love to hear it. So I'll wait for that. I'm gonna have to. Oh yeah, by the way, because of the next part, I'm gonna have to be balancing. See, I always tell myself every state meeting that I don't want to be balancing in between the rules and resolutions, but I'm always doing something that bounces in between them. I'm always doing something. In the next video, you're gonna find out what I got going on in resolutions and what that's about. That one kind of wrote itself, kind of, but anyway. Next rule amendment is the one that I wrote because I noticed a glaring problem with if a certain war game situation actually happens. And what I mean by that is, you know what? I'll read this first, and then I'll say what I'm getting at here. So this is, of course, by some ugly dude, to be presented by some ugly dude, passed by some committee with this ugly dude in it. That was an interesting day. Anyway, territorial increase amendment. Because I didn't want, I was torn between calling it Region Zero amendment and territorial increase. But if I chose one over the other, it might seem like I'm trying to hide the intent, which neither, obviously neither, but anyway, I could rant for a lot longer than is actually necessary. I'll read what I wrote here. And this passed with flying colors out of District 17 too. There was not an issue. Territorial Increase Amendment, amend Article 3 with a new Section 8 as follows. Article 3 is the part about all the regions and stuff and how regions interact with higher and lower parts of the state party and whatnot. Section 8. Should the territory of the state of Idaho increase? Okay. It should be. I should spell out that this is almost never going to get triggered. That part of it's never that just because the first few words of this is almost never going to be these rules are never going to be triggered, and there's only one case that I'm aware of that wherever would, and that's if several years from now Greater Idaho actually actually moves the border. That's basically what this is. I'm going to admit that right now. That's what the wargaming situation was. I'm like, okay, well, if we got a bunch of Republicans that managed to move the state line and now they're a part of our state party, oh, wait a minute, they're not organized quite like they would be if they're over here. They've got Senate districts and other districts, but they don't necessarily have legislative districts, kind of like like the rest of Idaho. So we're going to need to put in a rule, say, hey, we'll handle it until things can get organized. That's basically what this is. So should the territory of the state of Idaho increase, such territory shall be considered Region 0, because 0 comes before 1. And the organized Republican Party already existing there, if any, because hey, let's say some other land somehow gets within the borders of Idaho, and there isn't, so something else happens. Okay, I'm just add 2 words in there. That's fine. Okay, you get what I'm saying there. It's like, okay, if some other weird thing happens, we'll at least be okay. Um, it shall be given all the rights and responsibilities of any other region as are practical. That way, if something isn't practical, some part of the rules isn't practical, something they need to be, some requirement isn't practical. Okay, limit that temporarily as our practice until redistricting can be carried out to address the situation. And redistricting literally means like, or assigning all of the former Oregon Territory legislative districts and legislator seats, Senate seats, all that stuff. That's what the word redistricting is even there for. The state chairman may appoint an interim chairman of Region Zero, because it may be like impossible to actually have Region Zero organize itself. It may be impossible, for whatever reason. I mean, I'm sure they could all gather in a place, especially with enough notice or something. But it may be impossible because sometimes electing a chairman requires a chairman, and electing and so it's chicken and egg. This will fix it temporarily until you can get that engine started, of Region Zero, until it can either be sufficiently organized or redistricting has been carried out. Because if either of these happens, then we're good to go. If it's sufficiently organized where, okay, you're now a region of the Idaho Republican Party, and we start coordinating with each other, or redistricting, and then we write something into the rules about how you're now Region 9 or 10 or what have you. That's what that is. That's a fairly technical, fairly in the weeds, but we will definitely be glad to have such a rule in case Greater Idaho actually happens. If Greater Idaho doesn't happen and none of this stuff happens, well, literally nothing happens and we'll be fine. So, I'm going to move on. Okay, amending. Blah, 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 blah. Having a non-descriptive title already worries me. Submitted by Kirk Chandler, Washington County Chairman. Okay. On. Wait, when was it passed? Why is there a missing part? Okay. I think he means amend Article 1, Section 4 as follows. Okay. Section 4, voting membership of shall be controlled one. Okay, all that is as before. The voting members. Okay, why are you striking out all the proxy language? This is the same language that I relied upon to catch Victor in something in the 2021 summer meeting. Yeah, he only had 3 proxies after that. Shall be honored, and alternate to represent a voting. Oh, they want to put in an alternate system? An alternate to represent a voting member shall be honored as approved by. No. This is what vice chairmen are for. And those are elected a much more rigorous process than just simply approval of an alternate. Okay, so that already, no. And there's a reason why, to take care of the concerns that you might with an alternate, but really a lot of this should be taken care of by a vice chairman. I mean, I've been a district vice chairman before, but an alternate to represent the moment shall. A lot of this is taken care of when the proxies are structured the way that they are, meaning a district chairman can't hand his proxy off to a county chairman. A county chairman is either going to hand them off to certain other county chairmen, or on the hierarchy up, such as a region chairman. Region chairman can definitely carry a legislative district, all that stuff, which is actually there in the rules if you want to go find it. And I guess he's just striking out all of the proxy language to change it over to alternate, which not cool with, obviously. No, absolutely not, and I have serious doubts about your intentions, Mr. Chandler. Whatever the hell you're pulling here, dude, I don't think it's going to get through, and not only that, but you're going to need to argue like hell as far as what even your intentions even are. Because I have reason to doubt them, just by what you're trying to pull. Nominate their... no? Okay, you know what? Wait a minute. The precinct committeeman shall, within 90 days... Is that the way... Oh, yeah, that is the way you spell 90. Okay, improve... Oh, sorry. Election or appointment which are confirmed by the precinct committeeman. Period of time... No. No. And you're not even being completely honest about your addition of this. I have serious deal-breaking reservations about all of this. It is a hard no on 2024-6. Hard no. I mean, I'll listen to you, but I think that's just about all I'm gonna do. I'm definitely wouldn't vote for this. All right, well, title, state party. No, we're just gonna move on. State party chairman delegation. Chairman delegation. What is that? Are they talking about going up to national? State to conduct executive committee meeting. Yeah, the executive committee has meetings. What are you talking about? Okay. Submitted by Anthony Turner. To be presented by people I do trust. Okay, I'll hear you out. The rules of the outer one shall be modified by adding... Wait, did I just read this? Any party aggrieved by a decision of the state chairman shall appeal such decision to the executive committee of the state for effective inherent upholding of the state chairman. The appeal will be heard in the next regular meeting that occurs at least 14 days after the appeal is filed. Okay. This isn't the thing from before. Weirdly titled too, but I'm a passive yes for this. I want to hear more about what's going on though. Passive yes on 24-7. Okay, is OBS still going? Yes, OBS is still going. Okay. Proposed amendment to Article 20 of the Annual Party Rules. Harry Heath again. Okay. Platform enforcement. A lot of discussion about that rule as of late, especially after the Chalice meeting. Private organization. This one. Republican state and county constitutional. Are there county constitutional officers? I'm gonna move on. Give fair consideration. Why are you striking guidance? Okay, well, upon for and prohibit elected official from being placed on an oh. he's looking to start a fight there. I'm on his side of it. Just saying right now, but he's looking to start a fight there. Okay. Guidance. It shall be the duty. Okay. Okay. I think it's pretty obvious, but it shall be the duty of the state to church and further. I'm not entirely sure if that's currently according to Idaho code, but I guess if yeah, I guess it's a chicken and the egg kind of thing, because whenever you change any of that kind of stuff in the Idaho code, during a legislative session, in the state house, they'll first say something like, "Well, we don't know what the parties actually want to do, so we're not going to even advance this bill that would do, so." And then the people in the party leadership will say, "Well, the legislature didn't want to do this, so we're not going to." And so it just becomes a cycle that is only broken by pretty much the state party trying to put forward rules and then being challenged. So, okay, I see what's going on here. I trust Hari on this subject, so any official agreed by the second may appeal to the executive committee. Okay, so then you pretty much make it the Article 12 process after that. I'm a passive agree on this, but I'm going to want to hear from, this is a passive yes on 24-8 here, but I do want to hear from, I do want to hear the presentation on this, just to make sure I don't trip up on anything. Okay, article, let's see, rule. Okay, I don't like these titles that don't actually describe what's going on. Rule 2024-9, change to Article 5. Oh, the whole caucus thing again. Okay. Paul Ross, we've seen that name already in here, haven't we? No, caucus rules do not provide for the instance in which only a single candidate files, and state chairman disagrees with you because she's already commented on that before, but okay. And it turns out multiple candidates have filed anyway, so we're not going to need to deal with this for at least 4 years. So that's neither a point for or against, but it is something to keep in mind. Therefore, be remembered that it does hereby propose the following modification. And plus, we are in the middle of the caucus preparations right now anyway. I don't think we can rightly change the caucus rules right now unless it's something serious and something that is very much agreed upon. And we'll see what. Yeah. Now the change is down here. Let's see, bring it up above the fold, as it were. If only a single candidate files, that candidate shall be declared the winner at the time, where all delegates and all the further details. If no candidates, then all delegates will be Oh, that's interesting in that situation. I don't think that would ever happen, but that is interesting. Okay. Oh, is that the end of it? Okay. I'm going to go with a passive yes on this. However, there's a few things that we're going to stumble on. I want to hear the presentation on this, obviously. I need a better reason than just a simple, oh, hey, we need to do this. Need a little more. I'm going to move on. So, 2024-10, County Central Committee elected officials and precinct changes in non-election years. What are they getting at? Lisa Keller is the one who submitted it. A bunch of good, familiar names. This is a clerical thing, but we'll need to have some sort of guidance as to where to put this in the rules, because right now it doesn't say what article or section or what have you. It just has text. I'll read it though. Let's see. In the event that a county realigns or creates new precincts, And this action is not in a general election year. Oh, they're talking about some of the weird stuff that we had going on in the redistricting phase a couple, 1 or 2 years ago. By now, if the election pursuant to code citation, okay, we're on good grounds so far. If the elected officials are no longer in the precinct they were elected in, the composition of the current shall remain the same. Wait, I thought that was the case anyway. If vacancies are created by by interim, okay, I don't know if I thought this was the case, but I can't think of where that's spelled out, and it might not be spelled out. So I'm a passive yes. I want to hear the I don't want to hear just the presentation on this. I want to hear the deliberation on this, because some people, this is one of those things where I don't have any particularly strong opinions on this other than whatever the voters want. So, but some people absolutely do have strong opinions on this, and so I want to hear them have it out on this. I want to see. I want to see what others have to say about this. Moving on. Okay, this is one of the ones that they're blatantly starting a fight on. Just from the title, I can tell already. But let's hear them out. This is Rule 2024-11, submitted by Steve Pinther. That's yeah. Fremont. Oh, it even says Fremont. Fremont. Okay, so imagine Idaho like an. Oh, I have to do this backwards from the camera part. Okay, imagine Idaho as like an L, and the further part of the L, there's like the little corner tip. That's basically what Fremont is. Surprised I know that. Passed by them on this day. Okay, so I'm hoping that they had pretty good discussion on it, or I really hope it was more than just current rule bad, this rule good, hate Dorothy Moon. Because I bet this is what this is about too. This is probably more about hating Dorothy Moon than anything. It's probably what it is. I'm not even joking. The executive committee organized and by Article 2, Section 2, they want to put back president of College Young Republicans. No, unless they have fixed a lot of the problems identified in the Chalice meeting, then it's an automatic no. And given how it's just being presented like this, they're looking to start a fight. And I'm not down with that either. So, you know what? That's a no on 2024-11. Now let's go to the next one. Restore the college. Blah, blah. Oh, they're using restore the college. No, they're not just dropping right into what they want to do. No, Trent Clark here. Oh, I'm sad to say it. Sad to say he's not getting any better. But he just okay. No, we're going to restore the Republican. No, no, that is horribly misleading on the outset. And Trent Clark knows better. And I know he knows better, but he knows how to have an honest conversation. And he's blatantly not doing so here. Okay, so he's using his state committeeman instead of one of his other positions in the state party. Interesting. Passed by Caribou County because, of course, the rationale. He couldn't even just say why. No, he has to use the word rationale. The Chalice, Southern Union debated whether these affiliates should be given a vote to rule over a he's blatantly reframing what the debate even was. Okay, the fact that they're not electable is true, but the alternative is that it rule over, but rather enlistable is not adequate. Yeah, it was actually, but okay. Argument add in no, and screw you, Trent Clark, for trying it. That is a hard no. You know, and your little rationale thing absolutely did not help. Okay, so, okay, they're, I see what they're doing. They're trying to basically spam the agenda of the day. Yeah, see, they're trying to put that back because that was the whole big fight. A fight they know they lost pretty handily, but okay. Kristen Clark. Okay, yeah, that's duplicate text in there, which means they're spamming the state party with this crap. Might have to handle that the same way we did in 2020 when someone else spammed the committee with a bunch of crap. We'll move on. Let's see. Is this more of the same? Shelley Blanchard. Yeah, I've definitely seen that name before. Fremont from there. Not a bad part of the state though. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And Kristen Clark again. Basic. And the. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to 2024-17. Following new. Okay. In the proceeding or. Oh. Oh, he's pretending to be principled here. Now, go watch my video on this if you don't know what's going on here. But this is making reference of the the way in which we found out that Damon Watkins was definitely not being honest with his fellow man. I'll just say that. And as far as where he lived and where he's voting. Yeah, that's what's going on here. And you know what? And to be fair, it isn't a good thing that that such video was gathered and was available at all. But that does not get fixed on this end. The the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints needs to fix the whole thing on that end of the issue. And plus, you have you have no rational expectation of privacy when you're literally either giving a talk in sacrament meeting or in a fast and testimony meeting, which is just a certain kind of anyway. If you're bearing your testimony in front of all of the congregation, um, there's no expectation of privacy there. And so if you're saying things of which you would very much like to be private, well, then you should still keep them private. If you need to talk to your bishop about things that you're doing that you feel bad about, or you need spiritual guidance on, okay, well then you talk to your bishop privately on that. They have like appointments for that kind of thing. I've I've had to make such appointments before in my life, actually quite a handful of times, and in fact, but nah. But as far as addressing any of that from the party end of this is inappropriate. Hard no on 2017, and I will go to my grave saying that. See, let's see if you. Well, that's the end. Didn't think that would be the end. Ah, so I'm going to review this video later with myself and write down exactly what I said about each one of these, so I can talk about it in short form later and on social media and whatnot. But see, I'll transition to just the webcam here. So there's a lot of no that I mentioned, and a lot of hey, I want to see you explain this to me, or I want to see the presentation on this. Not a whole lot of yes, and that tells me that it's also going to be the same case with a lot of people, in which case that rules meeting is definitely going to drag out, even though it has a lot fewer items to consider. We're looking at another chalice meeting again over this, especially over the last few things over in Fremont and in Caribou. But for right now, I'm going to stop this video, and I'm going to start recording the other here in just a little bit. Y'all have a good one.